The LEGO Movie 2 video game is on Nintendo Switch and other consoles such as Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Hey everyone, it's Abdallah here bringing you guys a video review for the LEGO Movie 2 video game. Is everything really awesome in this movie and video game sequel, or does it fail to stack up in comparison to the originals? Keep watching and find out, and I promise that'll be the only LEGO pun. Now, I've got a few notes before we get started with this review. In order to go in depth with this video review, I'll be discussing minor spoilers about the actual movie and the video game, so keep that in mind. Another note is that at the time of writing this review, I've played and collect a majority of all the masterpieces, about 95% of the way there, so you know that I've spent my fair share with the game. Let's get started, shall we? If you played any of the LEGO video games in the past, you'll be at home with this title, as the controls are generally the same from title to title. If you're new to the franchise, welcome to it. There's really nothing to it aside from running, jumping, punching, collecting studs, finding masterpieces, and solving many riddles and puzzle elements sprinkled throughout the game. As the title of the game says, it's the LEGO Movie 2 video game that's based directly off of the LEGO Movie 2 in theaters or wherever you go to watch movies. Being a fan of the original LEGO movie and a fan of the second part, I can say that I was really excited to see how the team at WB Games would take the movie and turn it into a playable experience within the video game version. I'm not going to go too much into depth about the storyline and plot of the LEGO Movie 2, so let's just say that the LEGO Movie 2 video game follows the actual movie very closely in terms of story and expands on each of the areas visited within. You'll start your adventure on the planet Bricksburg, where some strange and yet very cute aliens come from outer space and start tearing things apart. This planet will be home to learning a lot of the ropes of how to play the game. WB Games has done an excellent job with showing the players how to interact with various objects within the game. You'll start off learning how to utilize build mode in order to create various objects such as the micromanager to fire lasers at black bricks in the overworld. Once you obtain a new character, the game eases you into the concept of switching your playable character to a different one that you've unlocked, such as Lucy here. Taking these character swapping and object building concepts further, you'll be able to build a springboard to jump up higher, a thumper to flatten certain areas of land, a generator to power up certain items that need electricity, and even a sprinkler to put out fires or help plants grow. Learning how to utilize each of these main builds will definitely be the key to figuring out and advancing the main story. Keep an eye out as you'll come across shining treasure chests that contain various relics. Take any of those relics to a shop and open them up for a chance at getting new objects to build, new characters to play as, and new construction pieces. If you come across the rare red relics, you'll also earn super relics that will make gameplay way more fun. As you're exploring, you'll notice that the game will have a yellow arrow on screen which will consistently point you in the right direction of where to go to complete main story quests within the certain planets. You'll have the option to explore the planet and collect as many masterpieces that are available, or you can collect the target amount and continue the story. The choice is yours. Combat in this game is relatively easy. Each character has a button mashing combo of pressing the same button over and over again to dish out damage. You can also do an aerial attack to land on enemies, and when the game prompts you to hold Y near enemies, you can unleash a super attack that destroys all nearby foes. Don't worry too much about the difficulty, as if you end up getting hit and losing your hearts, enemies can drop hearts to replenish. There isn't a life system in the game, so if you do end up losing all of your hearts, your character falls apart and respawns instantly at the cost of some studs. The LEGO Movie 2 video game sets up the players with a monumental boss fight in the first planet. This dinosaur-looking LEGO boss is truly one of the coolest bosses I've seen. You have to use your building know-how to stun it in different ways, and once you successfully do so, you'll then have to climb up its body to enter its base and do actual damage. Platforming in this game is super simple as it doesn't require any directional input. Simply press the jump button and you'll see your character leap and magnetize towards the intended spot. When you're done with the first level's boss and target masterpiece goal, you'll be introduced to the Systar System that consists of 7 main planets, the Bricksburg system, which consists of 6 smaller planets, and the Galactic Outskirts, which appears to hold 3 planets locked behind further DLC. I'll give you a quick rundown of each of the playable planets. Since we've already shown you Bricksburg, let's do a quick review of all the other planets in the Systar System and the Bricksburg system. The next planet is the Systar. This planet feels like the obligatory, fully customizable open world area where you can landscape the entire planet with whatever you want to build. There are a few fixtures here and there, but ultimately, if you want to collect all 40 of the masterpieces, you're going to need to collect specific builds from all over the other planets first. For example, once you find the blueprints to the Batcave, you can super build a Batcave anywhere and spawn Batman, who will then give you a smaller quest to earn a masterpiece. I guess that the WB Games train of thought would be to tease a planet where you're going to need to collect so many blueprints throughout the game, and you'll keep that in mind while playing. Another aspect of this planet is the fact that in order to collect every single masterpiece from quests, you'll need to use your scanner to scan objects on different planets so you can build them for the quest givers. Truly, the completionist planet. Moving to the next planet, we have the asteroid field. This planet is pretty interesting due to the fact that there are several floating asteroids in outer space, and it's up to you to explore the ways through. In this level, you'll receive the new Danger Fists, which power up your attacks and allow you to punch through the neon green and blue walls to uncover new paths. The Systarian jungle is our next planet, and it's home to a ton of cute Lego raptors that you may remember from the movie. You're tasked with exploring the entire jungle and interacting with various odd-looking totem tiki beings in order to make your way through the game's second boss. Like the first boss, this chameleon is gigantic. There's always some sort of gimmick to figure out about him, so once you figure out how to utilize the new paint wand against him, you'll be climbing all over his body to get to the top of his head and do some damage. Very fun boss indeed. One of my favorite areas in the LEGO Movie 2 is Harmony City. From watching the shenanigans of Superman and Lex Luthor being best friends, to enjoying the colorful backgrounds and little neighborhoods, this is by far one of the most visually appealing levels. You'll end up getting access to an item that is the actual Metalbeard's head that you're going to have to learn to use in specific instances where you notice a little holder for him. Other than that, the level is pretty straightforward with no real ways of falling off or getting into too much combat. In the LEGO Movie 2 movie, you'll see that the characters end up on some sort of train full of sorted LEGO bricks. There isn't much more that gets shown in the movie, but the video game completely expands on this concept and turns it into our next planet, the sorting area. In this particular planet, you're tasked with helping the transport deliver specific bricks to the ceremony for the wedding cake. One of the new items that you'll get is a welding tool from Benny that you'll occasionally have to use to solve a few puzzles throughout the planet. At the end of the level, you'll be pitted against a gigantic octopus-looking sorting boss. You'll have to use your puzzle-solving wit in order to figure out which color bricks you'll need to rotate in order to force him to inhale, get dizzy, and then allow you to climb his limbs to access his weak spot. Overall, I enjoyed the colorful atmosphere and concept of a sorting area, as I know that organizing your Legos at home can be a pretty daunting task. The final planet of the Systar System is the Ceremony. Not the first name that I would pick when naming a planet, but you guys get the point. It's time to explore the level and find Batman and end the game. This level is based in outer space and comprises of a gigantic Lego wedding cake. As you explore, you'll have access to Batman's grapple hook, which introduced another puzzle-solving element to gain new heights and open various doors. After powering up the main elevator within the gigantic Lego wedding cake, you're on a huge climb past various clouds, past the 515 dolphin clock, all the way up to the top of the cake, only to find General Mayhem's crashed ship and exposed head. Nice hair, by the way. She says that supposedly she can't stop us and asks us to think about what we're doing before disabling the force field, then gives us her tractor beam to solve the final puzzle of the game and trigger the final cutscene of the main story, then proceeds to the end credit scroll. The final cutscene has a monologue of Lucy explaining everything that we need to know throughout the game. I'm not going to put any real spoilers over here, but you guys get the point. The storyline in general was so dependent on assuming that you've seen the LEGO Movie 2 movie beforehand. There's very little storytelling within the game that explains why you're doing the tasks you end up doing. Even though I saw the LEGO Movie 2 in theaters before playing this game to completion, I tried pretending that I didn't see it just so I can tell how confused that the fan base would be while playing the main story. Why is Apocalypseburg being a run-down planet? Who's General Mayhem? What's the deal with the ceremony? Why is Batman involved? I get the developers are depending on the fact that they want you to see the movie before playing, or vice versa, but there's gotta be a better way of storytelling other than the 1-minute monologue at the end of the game, summarizing the entire plot twists. Nice cat, by the way. I don't remember ever seeing that cutie in the movie anywhere. That's it. The end. No final boss. Nothing. I felt that the final boss was like directly cut from the game, and we ended up with just General Mayhem's crashed ship, which would have happened after you ended up beating her. To review the 7 planets of the Systar System's main story, I'd say that it was pretty underwhelming. You start off with an epic boss battle in the first level, and you get the players all hyped up about possibly battling more of them, but you only get 2 more, for a total of 3 bosses, and not even a final bout within the last level before the credits. The entire story mode will take you no longer than 5 to 6 hours if you're collecting the target amount of masterpieces to advance. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the main story, but I felt that I wanted something more. Give me a secret final boss, I swear I'll keep playing if there's some sort of cherry on top. And that's where the secret level comes in. If you scroll up to the Bricksburg system, you'll notice that you have all of the bonus smaller planets unlocked, and there's one that's locked behind a hefty 400 masterpiece price. That has to be the secret final boss, right? Oh wait, I just played the game for 5 hours and only collected the bare minimum masterpieces for a total of under 100 of them. Great. Okay, well, let's put in the work and explore the new planets and backtrack to all the previous Systar System levels to 100% them in order to raise our masterpiece count to at least 400 to see what's behind that locked planet. Now, it's time to talk about the post-game. This is where, if you didn't feel completely ripped off from the game's ending, you're going to explore a few more planets to gain the required amount of masterpieces to unlock the secret world. Thankfully, by this time, you have already cashed in a boatload of relics, and you inevitably have access to flying vehicles that will allow you to get from point A to point B within a few seconds, rather than fumbling around various platforming elements like in your main story playthrough. Planet Sparkles is the first of the 6 planets. As you're exploring this floating palace in outer space, you'll notice that there are a few height-based levels within the area that will make you go a bit crazy exploring the planet. Aside from the underground labyrinth making the game's camera go nuts, there's really nothing too interesting about this planet. The next smaller planet is classic Bricksburg, which is a small town that reminds me of New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey. This world introduces you to the concept of swimming underwater, as there are a few masterpieces hidden underneath. Thank goodness for the jet wings that you received in the last level, as there are plenty of high buildings that you're going to be exploring on top of. One of my favorite characters in the LEGO Movie series is definitely Unikitty, and this next sandbox planet is Planet Unikitty. The planet is just as colorful and filled with rainbows as you'd expect, especially with loads of NPC Unikitties all over the place. You'll find another one of my favorite characters from the movie as well. Banarnar. Yeah, that big banana guy with the crazy eyes. Yeah, him. He's there. Oh, and a giraffe man is part of a quest too. He's pretty cool also. Middle Zealand is the next sandbox world in which you're going to have to do some quests for a king in a Lord of the Rings-esque planet filled with a castle, moat, forests, horses, orcs, catapults, and more. I enjoyed the horse racing quests within the planet, as riding through the woods really felt fun. One of the last sandbox levels in the Bricksburg system is the Old West. You'll be teaming up with the law officers and end up becoming the sheriff of the town by putting away all of the bandits. The Old West landscape, mountains, and desert themes were all a pleasure to explore. I went back and spent about an hour in each of the levels within the Systar system, collecting as many of the masterpieces as possible. After completing and gaining various blueprints, I went back to Syspocalypse Star in order to utilize said blueprints to build all sort of structures. The moment that I found out that certain quests wanted me to head back to various levels and use the scanner to find very small objects such as a table or a water glass, I immediately left. As appealing as earning that sweet 100% masterpiece title is, I was a little burnt out at the time. Who knows, after taking a break from the game, I might jump into a live stream and find the remaining 5%. Now's the moment of truth. Will we get the secret final boss that we've been waiting for? Let's cash in our hard-earned 400 masterpieces and unveil the level. Goldtropolis. Okay, I'm down. I love the addition of gold characters within the game. If you know me in video games, you know that I love it when there's gold aspects within games. Just look at my entire Animal Crossing New Leaf House. Upon setting foot into Goldtropolis, you'll notice that everything is made of solid gold. It's so awesome looking. There are only 10 masterpieces in here, but who cares? It's all gold. And what's in that house? Oh, a golden treasure chest? Boom. Gold relics and super relic shards. Let me tell you, everywhere you look will be one of these golden treasure chests. You're about to explore the area and you'll come across each of the main characters in the game, like Lucy, Batman, Benny, General Mayhem, Metalbeard, and Unikitty, who will all congratulate you for beating the game. This level is definitely for those who want to be able to say that not only did they collect all the masterpieces in the game, but they unlocked all the items, all of the characters, all the construction plans, all the stickers, super items, and more. This is truly the completionist heaven right here. I admit, the gold planet was pretty cool, and I ended up walking away with a maximum of 99 gold relics to open up, but I couldn't help but feel a little superficial about it. It's the end of the game at this point. You only have a small amount of master bricks left to collect, so what's the point of all this? I didn't get that final boss that I was hoping for, so I couldn't help but feel a little sad. I mean, on the bright side, it was great that the developers took this time to program an extra world in there to thank you for playing, and that I appreciate. Well, that's just about it for the entire game, minus the DLC levels, of course. You'll have to keep up with WB Games for more information on when those get released. In review, I wanted to go over my final thoughts of the game. We'll start off with things that I enjoyed most about the game, and then we'll go over areas of opportunity. I enjoyed the overall structure of the game for sure. Traveling from planet to planet, collecting masterpieces, scanning objects, fighting monsters, and progressing the story one quest at a time. I felt that WB Games did a great job with keeping accessibility in mind. For those of us experienced gamers, some of us may not like the excessive amount of hand-holding within the game, but we've got to understand that it's a way to ensure that the younger audiences are taken care of. The gameplay mechanics were pretty good as well. Moving around your characters, jumping, punching, climbing, and running all felt pretty natural and stuck true to the LEGO video game recipe. Let's not forget about the boss designs within the game. Oh boy, did I feel that those were one of the best aspects of the game, hands down. Figuring out how to open up their weak spots was pretty fun, especially since you get that aha moment when a light bulb turns on in your head and you figure it out. Climbing all over the giant beasts was also a fun way to interact with them. As far as areas of opportunities go, we can start with the fact that the story is very disconnected. If you have not seen the LEGO Movie 2 movie, I can't help but imagine you're going to have a hard time understanding what is actually going on within the game. There are plenty of questions that would rise up if you care to look deeper into them. If you're just playing the game to experience the puzzle solving and platform elements, then you don't really think twice about it. Speaking of story, aren't LEGO games supposed to be comedic in nature? I found myself laughing out loud while watching the LEGO Movie 2 in theaters at least 7 or 8 times, but now that I look back at the dialogue or cutscenes within the game, I don't remember seeing anything that was overly comedic at all. What gives? The entire quest concept within the game could have been expanded on as well. It seemed that you gravitate towards the gray question mark in the sky, listen to the request, and either build an object, beat up a few enemies, deliver an item to an NPC far away, race from point A to point B, or even take pictures of various things for them. Oh, and don't get me started on taking pictures of things. So here I am trying to 100% asteroid field, and this robot lady asked me for a picture of a spider. I spend over an hour looking for the dang spider on the planet, no luck. I find a spider on another planet, take a few pictures, come back, and she doesn't accept that picture. Like, seriously? I don't know if it's gonna work. I hope it does, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. However, here we go. Find an 8-legged creature for me. A picture of a spider. I have a picture. Would you be so kind as to take a photograph of a spider for me? Dude, I got one. I got one right here. Look, I have the physical proof. I took a picture of a spider. It's not... Alright. Calm down. That's a picture of a spider. That's also a picture of a spider. What was this? That's a spider's leg right there. Yeah, dude. I got a picture of the spider. It's right there. But you need a spider on this entire planet, and I could not find it for the life of me. So you know what? I'm not going to spend any more time with it. Whatever. I can find it another time. We're out of here. You know why? Same thing with an instance of taking a picture of Cyborg. I have a minifig of Cyborg, so I turn into Cyborg, and I'm walking around as him. I turn my camera into selfie mode, snap a picture of me being Cyborg, and that still didn't count as a picture. What? Anyway, I digress. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more variety of quests within the game for sure. And then he wants a picture. I could just take a selfie. Here we go. You want a picture with Cyborg, or you want a picture of Cyborg? Look at this guy. Look at this dude. Alright, here we go. Did that work? Have you taken a photo of Cyborg for me? Yeah, I have it. Oh, it's so frustrating. What? Do I gotta go take a picture in a mirror? That's a picture of Cyborg. You're really kidding. Oh, it's so frustrating. What in the world? I have him right here. I am Cyborg. Ugh. As I mentioned earlier, there are a total of 13 planets within the game, and only 3 of the planets have an epic climactic boss battle at the end of them. The final level within the main story didn't even have a boss battle at the end of it. I can't help but mention the inconsistency of it. There weren't any real bosses in the movie, so that's not an excuse, as they programmed in the dinosaur, chameleon, and octopus bosses, which weren't in the movie at all. I felt that some sort of battle with General Mayhem was warranted at the end, but maybe the devs ran out of time or money to develop it further. Who knows? When it comes to obtaining various stickers, characters, builds, or construction items within the game via relics, I felt that the luck-based blind bag or gotcha mechanics within the game was pretty rough. Even after collecting relics all throughout the story and maxing 99 gold relics with the help of Goldtropolis, cashing them in netted me with more doubles than I can imagine. And the doubles get turned into shards, and the shards get turned into more relics, so it felt like a never-ending struggle with RNG. I can imagine those players who want to collect every single element within the game are going to have a very hard time dealing with it. Why not eliminate doubles altogether? Is it to force replayability within the game? I played all of the Lego Movie 2 on Nintendo Switch, so I'm not quite sure how the Xbox One or PlayStation 4 or even PC handle the rendering of graphics within the levels. But I felt that there were many instances of the game that experience huge frame dips. Whenever you're in Syspocalypstar bringing up the Super Builder menu, it's inevitable that the game is going to come to a frame rate crawl. This also happens if you decide to try out building a giant flying vehicle. The frame rate drops so slow that it almost comes to a point where I thought the game was going to crash on me. And speaking of game crashes, in my playtime, the game had legitimately crashed on me twice. Here we go. Vehicle library. Give me special flying vehicles. Give me something small. A hover scooter, sweet mayhem fighter. I'm gonna have to go big or go home, dude. Don't tell me I froze the game. It's too powerful. I broke the game, guys. Right when it's saving, too. Come on! Is that gonna corrupt my file? Oh my gosh, it's so bad. I'm so close. Guys, we're so close to being done with this level. Really? Yeah, dude, the game's done. Dog man at. Benny, you're asking for too much. You're like that spider lady. Look, I took a picture of 25 spiders. What the heck? Are you kidding me? Yo, I was gonna show you the picture of the spider! Oh man, this is some game, dude. Wow. Alright, well, you know, I'm kind of done with that anyway. I'm not about to go do every single little thing. So, you know what? We got the 400 bricks. I showed you guys what Syspocalypstar is all about. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. I can't imagine the amount of reported crashes, so we'll just have to leave it at that. Oh, and along those lines, I ran into plenty of clipping glitches. Check this guy out. Another area of opportunity would be the loading screens. The game takes approximately a minute and a half, 90 seconds, to get to the title screen from booting it up. Yeah, the beginning intro with the coffee machine contraption is cute and all, but please, let me skip it. Especially after I'm forced to restart my game due to a game-breaking glitch. On that note, the loading screens that pop up when you click on a certain level are at least 60 seconds long. That is a long time to start playing any particular planet. To conclude, I enjoyed my time with the LEGO Movie 2 video game. The beauty of LEGO games is the overall accessibility to fans of all ages, just like the LEGO bricks themselves. From younger kids using their imagination to build whatever comes to mind with LEGOs, to adults who take it to the next step and build monuments out of them. LEGO is truly a brand that will stand the test of time. When I was playing this game, I couldn't help but be reminded of all the funny elements that made me laugh out loud while watching the movie. As a fan of completing games, I felt that although the game was subjectively easy, figuring out some of the quests really had me thinking. I'm looking at you, spider-obsessed robot lady. Keep in mind that everyone plays games differently. People play for the main story, people play for the never-ending exploration and sandbox elements, and people play not only to collect all master bricks, but to take it a step further and unlock every aspect of the game for an impressive true 100%. Regardless of which of these categories you personally fall into, I feel that you're going to have fun with the game. Play the game at your leisure and challenge yourself to completely get all of the masterpieces within. And that's it for my video review of the LEGO Movie 2 video game. What did you guys think? I want you to keep the discussion alive in the comments section, so write your own reviews of the game after you played it a while in the comments section below. If you want to see how each of these levels play, be sure to tune into my walkthrough the game, which will be linked in the description as well as notated on screen. In this walkthrough, you'll see my genuine reactions to all the levels as we collect over 400 masterpieces to unlock Goldtropolis. While you were in the description of this video, take a look at the giveaway that we're doing. Enter to win a copy of the LEGO Movie 2 video game by hitting that like button and sharing this review. Doing all of that shows me that you enjoy the content and you would like to see more. So hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next review.
After watching helplessly as they hurtled off into galaxies unknown, we both knew that we would make it our mission to get them back.